Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yawen and I am a mom of a little boy named Cassian. He's 14 months old, and then I have a little girl on the way. She'll be born in July. And as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about why I decided to get the COVID vaccine while pregnant, and how that experience was for me. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you on my channel. Okay, so I first want to go over like kind of my own internal thoughts about why I eventually decided to get the COVID vaccine. It wasn't an easy decision where I was like, yes, I'm definitely getting the vaccine once it's approved, just because. So when they first did the vaccine trials, they excluded pregnant women, so that was very unfortunate. So there wasn't any evidence of how it affected women or their children at the time that the vaccine was released. So when COVID first started here in America last year in 2020, around March-ish, that's when my first baby Cassian was born. He was born end of February. So by March, pretty much after we brought him home, we went into quarantine like most of the country did. And at that point, the vaccine was nowhere in sight. So that wasn't on my mind or anything. And then later we found out, I think it was in October, we found out that we were pregnant again with our second baby. And around that time, the vaccine was either in talks to be approved or was just approved. So when I went to go talk to my OB at the time, she pretty much told me that she didn't recommend it one way or the other, but she did say that everything suggests that it's safe for women, and she has known other healthcare workers in the hospital that were pregnant and have gotten the vaccine. So that was pretty reassuring, but also I like to have a definitive answer, and she did not give that to me. So at that point I didn't worry about it too much because the vaccine was still like at stage 1 or something for the priority groups. So I was nowhere even near being eligible to get it anyway, so I kind of just put that in the back of my mind. And then a couple months later, my company that I work for, we actually qualify as energy workers, so we were in like the 1B group or something, so I became eligible to get it. And at that point, that's when I first started to really think about if I wanted to get the vaccine or not, because I at that point definitely was ready to feel safe again. I wanted to go back to like normal times before COVID, selfishly probably, but I also wanted to, and this is most important, protect people around me that may be more susceptible to COVID, like older family members, or like my baby Cassian and this unborn baby, because I would never want anything bad to happen to them. So if I could do anything in my power to decrease the chance of exposing them or giving them the disease, of course I would. But then I also wanted to weigh in the fact that not everything's known about this vaccine's effects on pregnant women and their unborn children. So I did a little bit more research and then talked to my doctor more, whose name is Dr. Moore. Anyways, so yeah, so I changed doctors by this point. They're still in the same practice, but just because I wanted like a second opinion, so I changed doctors. And then this time he pretty much told me that like he would straight up recommend me getting this. And this was a couple months later down the line, so they had more data pretty much saying that this having the vaccine does not increase your chance of like having negative maternal and fetal outcomes. And there was recently a publication by the New England Journal of Medicine, which is peer-reviewed and very respected. They came out with like a preliminary study that having the COVID vaccine did not produce any adverse effect towards the baby or mom as opposed to pre-COVID. I mean, it's still preliminary, but the results were pretty reassuring to me. So my doctor told me to go ahead and get it, and then that the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine are an mRNA vaccine, which means it's not a live strain of the virus and it will not interact with my or the baby's DNA. And the molecules are actually too big to go through the placenta, so it will not affect the baby. And then, but if the antibodies are triggered in my body, the baby will get the benefits through, I don't know, the blood or something. You'll have to do your own research, but that's just like the gist of what I got from the doctor. And of course, this is like a super personal decision, and I'm not saying people should do one way or the other, but this is just like my personal experience and my thought train of why I wanted to get this vaccine done. So after talking to the doctor, I decided to get it, and then I had my first shot on April the 6th. I think I was like 6 months pregnant. So I got my first shot, and then 3 weeks later I got my second Pfizer shot, and I'm still here, happy and healthy today. So yeah, so I recorded myself like right after the shots to kind of explain what happened, my feelings at the time, and how I was feeling, the symptoms, and also like the day after what my symptoms were. So I'm going to insert clips from my first shot here. So I just got my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine, and the whole thing only took me about 20 minutes. So I had my appointment at 2 and it's now 2:20 and I'm back in my car. But the whole process was so easy. I just went up to the sign and there's a bunch of volunteers directing me to where I need to go. So first I checked in and they handed me like the COVID vaccine card and then directed me down the hall to a big room where everything's spaced out. And I think they were volunteer nurses were giving out the vaccine, and it was not painful at all. I felt like it was even less painful than a flu shot. As soon as the needle went in and out, I felt no more pain. Just the initial stick of the needle was a little bit painful. But like now it's been like 20 minutes and when I touch on my arm, I feel no pain. And then I was a little curious because the needles were all had like the vaccines in there already, and they were just sitting out like in a tray, all labeled and closed off and everything. But I was like a little bit concerned because I thought like the Pfizer one, you had to keep it in like negative whatever degrees the whole time. But so I asked the nurse because, you know, I didn't want to be like worried about it this whole time. So I asked her and she said that they were labeled to say when is the final time that they can be used, so they can be at room temperature for a certain amount of time. So that made me feel better. And then after I got the shot, actually before I got the shot, they went over like a questionnaire asking like, do I have any history of allergic reactions to vaccines, or have I ever needed EpiPen because of an reaction, which I don't. It also asked if I was pregnant, which I am, but I don't think that really affected anything. I think they just wanted to have it on file on the record. But after the shot was done, I was directed to another waiting room because they wanted me to wait 15 minutes before I could leave. And apparently some people had to wait 30 minutes, I guess depending on how you answered the survey. So in that room there were 2 paramedics just in case if anyone has any bad reactions. So while I was waiting there for the 15 minutes, a volunteer came by and scheduled me for my second appointment, which is in exactly 3 weeks. So that is very exciting to know that I will have all this done in 3 weeks. And then I will update a little bit later to see if I have any other kind of reactions and update you guys on how I feel. But right now I feel awesome. Hey guys, it's the next morning after my shot. It's been about 20 hours. Just wanted to give a quick update. So yesterday, after the shot, about 2 hours after the shot, my arm started to get a little bit sore, and then it's still pretty sore today. Like yesterday, I couldn't sleep on this arm because it would hurt so bad. But other than that, I had no other side effects. I didn't even feel fatigued or anything. So yeah, everything so far so good. And I'll update you guys if anything else happens, but I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna have a sore arm for a bit. It honestly just feels like there's a bruise there, nothing too bad either. But I heard the second one is where the side effects might happen or be worse. So once I get that, I will update you guys as well. Yay! I just got my second shot of the Pfizer vaccine, and yeah, same process as the last time or the first time that I got it. And I'm feeling good so far. But then the lady, the nurse, I think, said that this one, most people feel a little bit more of a symptom the next day. So to expect maybe like a mild headache, tiredness, or flu-like symptoms, but they should go away within 24 hours to 48 hours. So I will give you guys an update tomorrow, but I am very excited and relieved. Hey guys, so it's the next night after I got my second shot. So it's been well over 24 hours. Just wanted to give a update. So yeah, I experienced the same symptoms as last time, which is just a sore arm, and that is it. I do feel a little bit tired today, but I don't know if it was because of the shot or just because I was really busy at work and then taking care of a toddler and stuff and being pregnant. So I don't know, it could be that. But overall, the symptoms are super mild, and I'm just really, really relieved that I am done with my second shot. Now I just gotta wait for 2 weeks to get the protection from the vaccine. So that would be very exciting as well. So yeah, so that's how it went after both of the shots. Minimal symptoms, just a sore arm, and I didn't even really feel tired or anything like a lot of people did. So I was lucky in that aspect. And I am right now about like 4 days away from being fully vaccinated after the 2-week period after the second shot. So I'm very excited about that. And a couple of days after I got my second vaccine shot, a research paper from the Journal of American Medical Association was published. So they're peer-reviewed scientific journal, and they're very, very highly respected. So they published a preliminary study as well, and then they said that pregnant women that contract COVID and have symptoms of COVID, they are at 3 times the risk for severe illness, 5 times the risk for ICU admission, and 1.7 times the risk for preeclampsia, and 1.5 times the risk of preterm birth. So after hearing those statistics, I definitely even feel better about my own decision to get this shot. And in addition, last week I found out I have gestational diabetes, which increases my risk for a severe outcome if I do contract COVID. So with all of that newly factors into what I know now, I definitely think I made the right decision personally. And it takes some worry away from me, but not all of it. You know, I think we'll probably just have to live with this for a while, forever. I don't know. But as of right now, I feel good. And then I also enrolled in the program called vSafe, which I think is through the CDC, in which pregnant women voluntarily enroll, and they'll send you text every day with a link to check how you feel. I think they're going to follow up 12 months after getting the shot, and this is only for pregnant women. So I'm glad I'm able to contribute some data into some studies as well. Yeah, so hopefully in the future we'll have more clear answers, and I'm hoping and praying that everyone stays safe and that things can go back to normal or the new normal soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, please subscribe. And yeah, I mostly post like motherhood videos, a lot of clothing hauls for babies, a lot of vlogs. So I would love to have you on my channel. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.